Everything all right?
Of course. Nothing faces me.
Which is why you're sitting down here, is it?
I'm just checking the stock.
Well, I did that this morning, you know, you heard me on the blower. If it's none of my business, you just say, and,
It's just a bit of a funny day, that's all.
Funny?
Sort of an anniversary, but just ignore me. It's nothing I can't handle.
That's not a good anniversary.
Like I said, it's nothing I can't handle,
Your
so...
family.
You're right, little Sherlock, aren't you?
Is it your mum or your dad? Or... It's not kid, is it?
It's my mum.
Weird, isn't it? Because, you know, today should be like any other day, you know, but it's not, is it? Doesn't matter if it's 1 year, 2 years, 20 years. It still hits you hard.
Yeah.
So how long's it been?
A good few years now.
She can't have been that old.
No.
Stan was. He had a good innings, that's what they say, don't they? But he never really liked cricket. Had a good few years left in him and all, you know, until the cancer really got hold of him. Was it the same for your mum? Did she get ill?
No.
Was it an accident?
She killed herself. It's funny, isn't it? When somebody has a disease or have a car crash, then people always know what to say, but something like that, they don't have a clue.
My son, Lee, he had problems. Emotional, marital, mental problems, I suppose. And him being in the army, I can't imagine how hard that was for him. And I didn't see any of it. You know, not when it was happening anyway. Looking back, it could have happened at any time, that phone call, that knock on the door, somebody telling me that he'd been found somewhere. I'm sorry. I'm not saying I know how you feel, because I don't. And if it helps you being here tonight, then me and Elle, we can manage.
I didn't need a phone call or a knock on the door, anything.
What do you mean?
It was just so weird. I was walking home that evening that it happened, and I just had this massive panic attack, total terror. I couldn't breathe. I thought it was my heart or something. I didn't know what to do. And then I let myself in.
And you found her.
Mick, one of the barrels needs changing.
You all right, babe?
Don't mind me doing this now, do you? I just want to get my thoughts down while they're fresh. Did they mention what they wanted us to say in this speech?
What, you doing that now, are you?
Did they say how long it was meant to be, or who we should thank? Because I suppose there's a lot of people we should be thanking. I should have thought about it myself, and when I think back, she'd been low for months. There'd been problems in the family. But I didn't really take much notice. When you're 17, you're the centre of your world. My brother was even younger. And I'd been at a friend's house and he had rugby practice. So he'd gone home to get his kit, and the last thing that he'd said to her was that I'd be back by 8. And I'd had that weird moment on the way home, but I just never thought. And when I let myself in, everything was normal. The television was on, and there was a casserole in the oven for dinner. So I checked it and I filled it up with water. And the clock on the cooker said that it was nearly 8:15. And she hadn't come down like she normally did when one of us came home. So I went upstairs and I could hear water running, so I thought she was having a bath. And I went and knocked on the door to tell her that I was home and about the panic attack. And then I looked down and there was all this water on the floor. And I just didn't know how it had got there. And then there was more water coming from under the door. I couldn't do it. I couldn't open the door. It was like I was frozen, because I knew if I opened the door, then my whole life was going to change. But then I did. I opened the door. And there she was, in the bath. And her eyes were open. She was looking at me, but of course she wasn't looking at me. And one of her arms was hanging over the bath. Oh, I didn't go near her, and I didn't turn off the taps. I just turned around and I went to her bedroom, and I got on the phone, and I should have phoned the ambulance. But I didn't. I phoned the school. And I said that I needed to speak to my brother. And when he came on the phone, I just couldn't say the words. I just said, Mum's done something really stupid. And then I made arrangements and I called the ambulance. And by the time he got home, they'd taken her away. And the police were there, and they cordoned off upstairs in case it was a crime scene or something. But it was pretty obvious what had happened. And when he came home, the first thing he said was that there was something burning, and of course it was the casserole that I'd completely forgotten. And I remember looking at him and thinking, why didn't she do it when he was there? Why did she wait for me? Why did she want me to find her? Because I was the oldest, I suppose. Or was it something else?
Like what?
I don't know. I still don't.
Listen.
I'm sorry.
What for?
Well, I don't know why I told you all that. I'm not usually...
What?
Well, that week, I suppose.
That's not weak. What's weak is bottling things up and not letting them out because you're worried about what other people might think. Telling people things, especially things like that, it takes guts. Never works anyway. Keeping things to yourself always comes out in the end. White wine?
What?
I'm thinking a large one.
Thanks.